All right, we're going to talk about order of operations with rational numbers. Remember, rational numbers, whenever we're hearing that word rational, we're thinking about fractions and decimals. So rational numbers, fractions, and decimals. The type of decimals that are not irrational. There are irrational decimals, but most decimals are rational. So order of operations, we have please, that stands for parentheses. Or other grouping symbols. We could have brackets. Those are also a grouping symbol. Absolute value bars are a grouping symbol also. Excuse. Those are my exponents. Things like x to the third. I have a 3 for my exponent. So exponents. My dear. That stands for multiplication and division, left to right. And Aunt Sally stands for addition and subtraction. Add, subtract. Left to right. Remember that left to right thing means that whatever you come to first, you do first. So if I'm going through a problem and I get to an addition, I do the addition, then I keep going across, then I come to another addition, I do another addition, I come across, I get a subtraction, I do that subtraction. Come across, hit another addition, I do that addition. I go left to right, and I do whatever I need to do. And my lights just went off. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, let's do this. So here's our first one. What should I do first? I have some multiplication, I have some addition. Well, order of operations tells me to do my multiplication first, so we're going to start right there with that multiplication. And it's a fraction, but I can do that. What's 5 times 2? 5 times 2 is 10. And 13 times 5 is going to be 65. Can I reduce that? Absolutely. They're both divisible by 5, so I'll divide this by 5. Divide this by 5. And that's going to turn it into 2 over 12, 13. Now, I've handled the multiplication. Now I need to do the addition, so I have to add 5 to it. Well, I like all my numbers to look like fractions when I'm trying to add fractions. Actually, I don't, because that's just a 5. This is going to be 5 and 2/13, isn't it? 2/13 plus 5 is 5 and 2/13. Right? If I had $5 and then I gave you 2/13 of a dollar, which doesn't make a lot of sense, but you would have 5 and 2/13. So our answer is 5 and 2/13. And I'm reading the instructions. It wants it as a mixed number or a proper fraction, so that's a good answer. Let's look at another one. I have 8 times 7 plus 7/16. Well, what should I do first, the multiplication or the addition? The multiplication. So I need to know what 8 times 7 is. That's 56. Plus 7/16. And once again, these are simpler problems than I was expecting. I have 56 plus 7/16. Well, that's 56 and 7/16. There we go. Next page. So in this one I have 4/5 minus 1/6 times 2. Should I do that subtraction first or the multiplication? Please, no parentheses. Excuse, no exponents. My dear, multiplication and division. I'm going to do the multiplication first. Let's bring that down here. So I have negative 1/6 times 2. Put that 2 over 1. Multiply straight across. That's going to give me negative 2 over 6. And I'll reduce it down, half it, negative 1 over 3. So what do I have now? This piece right here, that negative 1/3, is what that turned into. So what do we have? We have 4/5 minus 1/3. 4/5 minus 1/3. Okay, I'm going to need a common denominator to make this guy work. Let's go with, let's see, 5, 3, 15. Turn everything into a 15. Let's turn this into a 15 using a 3 over 3. We'll turn this guy into a 15 using a 5 over 5. Building a common denominator of 15. That's going to give me 12/15 minus 5/15. Now that I have the common denominator, I can do the subtraction. 12 minus 5 is 7 over the common denominator of 15. And that will not reduce. Okay, here we go. Remember going back to this first page, I said that rationals, we're dealing with fractions and decimals. Well, here's a decimal one. Ooh, it's a good one. Okay, I have some multiplication right there. Here it is. This is the multiplication I need to do first, right here. I need to know what negative 0.5 times 0.64 is. Well, 0.5, that's a half, isn't it? So what's half of 64? Half of 60 is 30, half of 4 is 2, so 32. So what this becomes is negative 0.32, and the rest of the problem Are you freaking out that I didn't bring that plus down? This is plus and negative. Isn't that the same thing as just the negative? Remember, plus and negative is, I'm adding a negative number into it. It's just a negative. Now let's do the math. I can do this left to right. I can kind of just figure it out. Let's see, what's 2 minus 1? 2 minus 1 is 1. Minus 0.32 minus 0.83. Well, this is a positive. Whoa, you can't see it anymore, sorry. This is a positive. These are both negatives. I'm going to combine these two negatives right here and figure out what they are. So let's come off to the side here. Let's go with a 32, 83, 5. So that's 1 minus 1.15. One minus 1.15, that's negative 0.15. Yeah. Remember, I know you're thinking, oh, you can't take 1.15 away from a 1. So what am I doing? I'm basically mixing. This is playing little games in my head to keep my brain straight. What I'm doing is this. I'm going, hey, I'm a middle schooler. I don't think that subtraction can work, but I know this will work. I can do that. $1.15 subtracting $1, well, that's going to leave me with 15 cents. But remember the little game I played up here saying, hey, it doesn't work? Well, it does work. It just means that the answer is negative. Okay. All right, I think I'm done with this one. I have one more fraction one left for today. I know you're excited about that. So am I. I'm very excited right now. Very excited. See you in class. Bye.